When you read this morning's paper, you may come across an article about the unusual day I had last week.
I've come across a lot of psychos.
We gonna come across any more ponds before dark?
You come across a guy named Greg.
I made breakfast for my family. I performed my chores. I completed my projects. I ran my errands. Her curiosity aroused.
Aroused?
Now you got my curiosity aroused.
Very arousing women. They arouse me.
Mrs. Huber tried to think of a reason for dropping in on me unannounced.
Rude to drop in unannounced.
Sorry for dropping in unannounced.
Hey, I'm sorry to drop in unannounced.
I was laid to rest on a Monday. After the funeral, all the residents of Wisteria Lane came to pay their respects.
The latest victim, Toby Badger, just laid to rest.
The unquiet spirit must be laid to rest.
So, might I presume that this matter is now comfortably laid to rest?
Stand up, bitch, so they can pay respect.
I'm gonna go pay my respects.
I came to pay my respects to your friend.
Lynette's life had become so hectic, she was now forced to get her fried chicken from a fast food restaurant.
Well, London was hectic.
Sorry, it was a hectic night.
Things were a little hectic this morning.
Your color is very hectic.
I have a hectic schedule.
Let's just say things were a little hectic around the house.
And if any of you acts up, so help me, I will call Santa and I will tell him you want socks for Christmas.
You act up.
Okay.
All right, call 911 if my parents act up.
If you act up, he's likely to have a heart attack, so you be good.
I did it before. And so help me, I'll do it again.
If you say the smell, so help me, I will slug you. So help me God.
So help me God.
Gabrielle was touched when tears welled up in his eyes. But she soon discovered this happened every time Carlos closed a big deal.
My eyes welled up and I said,
I still well up when I think about it, but now I can fall asleep after.
His lymph nodes swelled up after the head CT.
Don't you worry, sir. The boys are well up for it.
not the paella well up there.
Well, up yours too.
Gabrielle liked her paella piping hot. However, her relationship with her husband was considerably cooler.
A piping hot cup of freshly ground coffee.
Sorry, it's piping hot.
There we are. Piping hot.
Piping hot, so consume with caution.
One piping hot goat stew.
If you talk to Al Mason at this thing, I want you to casually mention how much I paid for your necklace.
Why don't I just pin the receipt to my chest?
You casually mention that you're rich.
Just casually mention that nothing's going on.
Teddy, can you mention it to Owen, like, casually, hey, how's the apartment search going?
He let me know how much he paid for his wife's new convertible. Look, just work it into the conversation.
There's no way I can just work that in, Carlos.
Why not?
I'll try to work that into the conversation.
Okay, we can work that into the plan.
Great line. Try to work that into the show.
Just, you work that into your rhythm, too.
Look at that. I wonder how you could work that into the story.
You just pay the fine, work it into the balance sheet.
Yes, I'll see if I can work that into my speech.
It's got rolls, muffins, breakfast type things.
Thank you.
Well, the least I could do was make sure you boys had a decent meal to look forward to in the morning.
It's the least I could do.
It's the least I could do.
Least I could do is ruin your night.
So the least I could do is let somebody else rat on him.
Sandwich, least I could do is return the favor.
The least I could do is go talk to Cliff.
It was the least I could do for a friend.
It's the least I could do for the way you helped me with Tara.
So, what did Carl say when you confronted him?
You'll love this, he said. It doesn't mean anything. It was just sex. Yes. Page 1 of the Philanderer's Handbook.
And I consider myself a great philanderer.
He was a drunkard and a philanderer.
You're a dirty philanderer. My mother's gonna marry that philanderer if we don't do something right now.
We all have moments of desperation. But if we can face them head on, that's when we find out just how strong we really are.
Let's hit this bitch head on! Men should be able to face their death head on. Your husband was in a head-on collision with an SUV. You're not looking so strong after a head-on with me.
You see, you're fighting head on, eye to eye.
But if we keep going head-on on him like this, we're not gonna make it more than a week. I have this sudden impulse to turn the wheel quickly, head-on into the oncoming car.
Are you mad that I asked you that?
No, I'm just trying to remember. I don't want to talk to you about my love life anymore. It weirds me out.
Said something kind of weirded me out.
They weird me out, too.
They kind of weird me out now.
The other part that totally weirded me out, the thing had good taste.
You should go and see him. I don't know. It's probably going to weird me out.
Susan knew she was lucky.
Well,
An eligible bachelor had moved on to Wisteria Lane, and she was the first to find out.
I'm getting some kind of eligible bachelor award.
Royce King was the most eligible bachelor in town.
Congratulations, Deeds. You're now the most eligible bachelor in New York.
Ladies, let's give the town's most eligible bachelor a real fireside welcome.
Eligible bachelor as yet unconquered, and they will be mine.
Thank you. What's this?
Sausage puttanesca. It's just something I threw together. I didn't know if you were hungry, so I just threw together some.
Why don't you guys go hang outside while we throw together some lunch?
Oh, it's just a beef stew I kind of threw together. Max, throw together a late night menu.
Oh, it's just a little something we threw together.
A little scrapbook that Thomas threw together.
And I asked him to throw together maybe a couple of logos for us.
Actually, you're the first in the neighborhood to stop by.
Really?
Susan knew she was lucky.
We'd stop by to see you.
Stop by anytime.
I do hope you'll stop by when I open for business next week.
Shit, I gotta stop by work.
I might stop by passports.
I want to stop by the warehouse.
If you had a car, you could stop by Colorado and pick me up.
You can't order me around like I'm a child.
Gabrielle.
No, I'm not going.
It's business.
Go.
You can't order me around.
Aunt Adelaide, you cannot order me around.
You do not order me around.
You're not going anywhere.
You wish you could order me around?
Order me around, tell me what to do, and try to make me into the person they wanted me to be.
I really like it when we hook up. But, well, you know, I gotta get my work done, and I can't afford to lose this job.
April and I hook up occasionally, but she's not my girlfriend.
So what's up? Did you guys hook up?
It's cool.
So you're gonna hook up with him?
Dude, are you gonna hook up with a Mexican girl?
You hook up with him and you'll regret it.
Change in behavior is one of the warning signs, and you have been as fresh as paint for the last 6 months.
I'm not the one with the problem here, all right? You're the one always acting like she's running for mayor of Stepford.
Welcome to Stepford.
Like a Stepford wife?
What about you? How do you become a Stepford housewife?
Are you a Stepford doctor?
Little too Stepford.
One night, you go right back to being a Stepford?